Hello, and welcome to The Deep Dive. I'm Adam Mueller. The Purple Gloves Boxing Club has long been an opportunity for St. Thomas students to stay active or learn a new sport. Now, club members get to learn from and spar with an 11-time state champion. Here's how that came to be.
Harder than that, come on. Oh, there we go, do it again.
Every Sunday, junior Eddy Valenzuela-Rivera's classmates get together to beat him up.
That was our Purple Gloves boxing class, which is, it's a club, but it's also a class. It's every Tuesday and Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m.
Eddy doesn't mind sparring with the other club members, because if there's anybody on campus who can take a hit or two, it's him.
I've been boxing for 14 years. I've been state champ 11 times, I've been regional champ 6 times, and I've been to like countless national championship tournaments.
Somehow, it took Eddy, of all people, almost 2 years to discover the boxing club.
I came to the weight room to like kind of stretch out and lift a little bit, and across the gym I see this boxing class going on. And I'm just like, how did I know about this, you know?
I didn't hit too hard, come on.
That's where he met Ellie Rengel and JC Zadlow, who he now runs the club with. And they're always open to new members.
It's very beginner friendly, and if they end up really liking it and they want some good pointers, I tell them Eddy over here is basically a professional, and that's when everybody goes, whoa, really?
We want you to feel comfortable in this space. We're going to teach you all of the moves that you need to know for the combinations that we're going to give you.
So whether you're a beginner or one of the best young boxers in the country,
Just come try it. I think you're going to love it.
for the Crest.News, I'm Adam Mueller.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Junior Eddy Valenzuela-Rivera joins us on the Deep Dive to tell us more about his boxing journey and how it intersected with Purple Gloves. Thanks for coming in today, Eddy.
Oh, thank you guys for having me.
So you told us in the video that you were doing some training in the gym. You looked across the hall and saw Purple Gloves going on. So after that, what was the process of getting involved with the club?
Well, I always wanted to find my own way of getting involved with St. Thomas. So what better way when I'm looking at a boxing club, I'm like, I have coaching experience, this is the perfect opportunity. So I try to get myself involved with it.
Yeah, so if anybody on campus is going to be in a boxing club, it's you, right?
That's what I thought too, yeah.
So you get to teach a lot of the basics of boxing as a part of this club. Has that given you the coaching bug at all?
Well, I work with a lot of people who are brand new, so it wasn't really anything new to me. That's just, I love teaching people who they don't even know their stance if they're left-handed or right-handed, so I'm teaching these guys from zero. It's great.
What's it like getting to share your love of the sport with so many people?
I really like seeing the people who are scared to try boxing take that step forward and just kind of, it's not easy to try boxing, and then all of a sudden they're coming every week, and it's like a character development, these guys are really growing out of their comfort zone, and I think it's great to be able to be part of that.
What progress, you see they get out of their shell and they're less scared. What progress have you seen them physically throughout the semester with their boxing?
Not only how confident they are with their speaking and the way they interact with other people, but just only like people who could never imagine sparring all of a sudden are begging, Eddy, can we spar on Sunday and stuff? And that's knowing how I knew these guys a month ago, it's that's a big improvement for these guys, and that's and taking credit for that. I don't want to take credit for that. That's just them taking that big step over. So
it's more than just the sport of boxing.
Exactly. Yes.
You said that you've been boxing for 14 years. Yeah. So how did little 6-year-old Eddy get started boxing?
All right, so it's a big story. It's a crazy story. I used to get picked on back in the apartments I used to live in. I used to play with these bigger kids, and they used to play really rough. And I was just super scared and shy, just like most students here who don't want to take that step forward in that boxing club. And my dad was the one who was like, Eddy, you got to learn how to defend yourself. And whether that's karate or boxing or whatever. And then we called up the local whatever martial arts gym, and the closest one was a Minnesota Top Team, a boxing gym, right?
Okay.
And then they were calling, how old is your son? 6 years old. And they were like, we only accept 8-year-olds. He's like, does he listen? And he's like, yeah, he listens. He's like, all right, we'll make an exception. So they let me go in 2 years early. And at first I hated it. My dad was dragging me, forcing me to go. And then 4 years later, my coach was like, Eddy, you got the talent, And I personally, knowing somebody who hates violence, and I'm like, I can't fight, yet alone compete, right? But then I had my first competition against some 13-year-old when I was 11. This dude was like you think I'd get knocked out in my first fight, right? And I did really good. I lost by split decision, which is my face was clean. I did really great. So that kind of opened up my eyes to what I'm capable of. And ever since, it's just been trying to lose weight, work hard, make wins, make some noise in Minnesota.
Yeah, and then you went on to win. You said winning in Minnesota, you won 11 state titles.
Yeah.
So you showed us in the video some of those championship belts that you've gotten through over the years. Is there one that you're the most proud of?
That first one was honestly that was that was like a big tournament. I trained all summer for it. I sacrificed all going out with my friends, everything. Every morning running in the gym 3 hours later, and then to fight 3 days and win that big belt, like to me that was like my first big step into boxing. So that's the one I'm most proud of.
What tournament was that first?
That was the Ringside 2016 tournament.
Okay.
So
8 years ago.
yeah.
Okay. So what is your training? So that takes a lot of work. What does your training look like just like on a weekly basis?
So I usually try to dedicate 2 hours out of my day, right after classes and after work, like my internship, to just go either every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. It's like my sparring day where like I'm with my coaches. We're training to compete, right? Like drills, sparring, all that. And then my off days are like my cross train, right? Whether it's running, lifting weights, or whatever I have to do, sweat a little bit to lose to lose weight, to make weight for my competitions. But yeah, that's kind of 2 hours is what I try to, with all the busy engineering stuff, I try to dedicate 2 hours minimum. So
Yeah, so how do you manage that balance with being a college student? Because I know engineering, it's no joke.
no, honestly, man, like engineering wasn't more, as hard, it wasn't as hard as loan, right? But engineering, it takes up plenty of my time. Like when I have 4 classes, 3 of them have labs and then homework and stuff, and then my coach is, Eddie, we need you in the gym to spar, and it's like, it leads to a lot of late nights, but with some dedication and like commitment, you can make it happen. It's very difficult, but.
All right, so then what's the next thing that you've got your eye on? What's the next event coming up for you?
There's one in December.
Okay.
Hopefully, I don't want to give any dates yet because it's still being finalized, but hopefully in December it'll be a really good Pro-Am show, and hopefully in St. Paul, Minneapolis. So as soon as I know the details, I'll let it out, and hopefully I can get some St. Thomas support over there. So.
All right, well, thanks for coming in today.
No, thank you for having me, guys.
Follow along at thecrest.news and follow us on social media at The Crest News for more stories from your campus community. With Eddy Valenzuela-Rivera, I'm Adam Mueller. We'll see you next time we deep dive.